So today we are going to talk about the KAMPILAN. Okay, this is the main weapon for us for the largo mano subsystem, and it is the longest weapon in Southeast Asia. Remember, this is not a dual weapon. This is a battlefield weapon. So the footwork is very different from what we do with a barong or a bolo or a stick in Kali, where it's a duel. So you're fighting one guy, eventually two, but it's more of a modern way of looking at the fight. The KAMPILAN is really a battlefield weapon, so it's very different. In the battlefield, you have to move all the time. You can't stay at the same place, and you have opponents coming from all around. So you don't know where the next guy is gonna be. Okay, so we start here, left leg in the front, the KAMPILAN resting on my shoulder, and my hand here reinforcing my wrist. Okay, from this, we're just gonna go through the angles first. Okay, angle one, I'm gonna step and cut and put the KAMPILAN on the opposite shoulder. Angle two, I'm gonna step and cut. Same thing, I'm here. Okay, angle three, it's not gonna be flat, it's gonna be going up. Okay, so from here, I'm using my free hand here on my wrist to give the direction, and I'm gonna step and cut. Angle four, same thing, I'm gonna step and cut. And angle five would be here, straight or straight and scratch. If you don't reinforce your grip here and you use the crocodile mouth, which is also quite common, I'll be here with my hand here underneath the guard. So the flat of my hand here underneath, and when I cut, before my point touches the floor and eventually breaks, I will push here for the leverage in order both to protect my tip and to be always in guard facing my opponent in case I miss. So I'm here. If I miss the guy and I'm here, I don't want to be carried by the weight of the blade and exposed. So here I would press and immediately recover from my mistake and be ready to intercept the guy. Okay, so one more time together. I'm here, I'm gonna step and cut, and before my blade goes all the way down here, I'm gonna press on the handle in order to recover. Okay, here I cover completely, and same thing, two and press. Okay, here I'm gonna use this to push in order to get my half circle to go into my angle three, and same thing, I'm gonna help myself with my hand on the handle to go for my angle four, and here I'm gonna grab the mouth of the crocodile and I'm gonna push for my angle five. Now if I change blade and I use this one, we're gonna use it for a little bit more of a close quarter combat. So here I'm gonna wave the blade between my fingers to reinforce the grip, and I'm gonna have my hand here on the piece of cloth. If you're training with a stick, you just grab the stick on the first third of the stick. Okay, so now I'm here, a little bit of a different guard. Okay, I'm grabbing the piece of cloth. Okay, now I step before I throw the blade, because now it's for quarter combat. It's a little bit closer, so I don't cut from here. The guy will not be in the proper distance. So I need to step first and now cut, 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 and rack. So you see the distance is completely different. If I don't grab here, but I grab here, look how far the guy is. If I use the wooden dummy here from this distance, I'm in largo mano. But if I was to grab my blade here, now I don't touch the guy anymore. So I need to really get in to step in order to be closer. Same thing for all my cuts. So now I'm here and I step and cut. Cut, 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 and go. But every time, if the guy moves backward, I need to get a little closer. So my footwork would be 1, 2, and I keep what we call at KAM the forward pressure, and here. Okay, so every time I keep pushing forward. If I have an opponent and I do the first cut and the guy steps back, I don't want to stay here. I want to chase him. And here, keep the forward pressure. If I have multiple opponents, as often in the battlefield, okay, here I would cut the first guy. Here I would go for the second one. Maybe here I would parry, cut the third one. Now one guy comes here, I'm gonna rack here. So I'm always adapting the distance compared to if I don't use the glove and I'm keeping people away. That's the purpose of largo mano, is to be able to touch or cut without being touched. So the footwork is different. Remember, I stepped before the cut. Now I'm closer to my opponent. I enter this guard and I'm gonna cut once. I'm gonna cut twice. Now I'm gonna fully turn, getting even closer to him, and I'm gonna go for the head. Okay, one more time. I'm here. Cut. Cut. Turn. Big step behind. Full power and go. The goal here is to cut the head off. Okay. From the side. Okay. Here. Cut. I stay on side to be always in front of the camera, but normally I would push forward. That's my two. You see where I go here? I'm still pointing my weapons at the guy in case I didn't touch him, because I don't want to show my back if the guy is still standing. And here, if he is on his knees, which he should now, I turn and cut the head, full power, full body weight.